You guys know what I think would look awesome on my 420 here? A set of 22 off-road floorboards. And it just so happens we have some. So unfortunately, while I can't install them today because they either need to be painted or powder coated, I'm going to go over the difference in the 22 off-road floorboards compared to those wild boars that I put on my 520. All right, now as a lot of you guys, all right, so as most of you guys know, I had to get my best friend to kind of refab these wild boar steps just because they fit like absolute shit. The absolute first thing you're gonna notice about the 22 off-road floorboards compared to the wild boar is, guys, these things weigh probably half as much. That whole package they sent me, which had other parts in it, only registered at 20 pounds. These things right here are heavy, way heavier than these. Whether it's the quality steel or whatever, I personally don't know. That's just the first thing I noticed. All right, one more thing. On these wild boars, they've just got two small center holes punched out. That's for the bottom tab of this cover piece here to go over it. One thing I can already like about 22 off-road, it's one solid cutout, guys. Plastics move, they flex. This right here is going to give it the ability to move inside this track without popping out, because these right here, they pop out at least once every ride. All right, next thing I want to point out, this is the piece that we added to it. So this right here is the factory line on the wild boar. It's just straight. 22 off-road has got this extra bend in it. What that extra bend is going to do is going to put pressure into the fender instead of pulling them out like these did. See the rear right here? Straight across. 22 off-road did the exact same thing here. They put an extra bend in it. And once again, what that does is allow it to follow this panel a whole lot better than this did. All right, another thing I want to point out, because this is a big issue, even with my stretch kit. You see how far down this goes, guys? Can you see back in there how big that plate is? That's kind of unnecessary, because what happens when you get in a mud hole and something happens, these tires always cut up in there. It's almost half the distance right here on the 22 off-road. So you're going to have a much sleeker design. You don't have to worry about your tires hitting whenever you travel. Same thing here on the front, guys. Look how much smaller this is compared to that. So I really wish I could throw them on today and do a video about that. However, because they're raw, like I said, I've either got to paint them or powder coat them. And I'm going to go pick up some different hardware and stuff. But in all honesty, they've asked me to do a comparison. I'm not getting paid for this video. I truly wish I'd have went with 22 off-road instead of these wild boar. So I'm very excited to run these on the 420. I think it's going to completely change the look of it. And also, with these 30s on the 420 with just a 2-inch lift, you can see right there I get a lot of rubbing even with this trim. So looking forward to putting these on. We're going to do another video on the install. So if you guys got any questions about the 22 off-road floorboards, just fire them below and we'll answer them.